I'm Jennifer Vatsa, and today I want to talk about the magic of the written word. And this is going to encompass a little bit of the magic in everyday life, doing petitions for your ritual or spell work, and that could be in conjunction with the spirits that you work with, and also demonic pacts or pacts with any particular deity that you work with. Subtle differences with each of these styles. Now I think of demonic pacts as a more formal contract, bigger picture things, a dedication of yourself to working with that particular entity. Now there could be short-term and long-term or even medium-term like pacts that you can do with spirits, but you can also do petitions as well. I think I use petitions more than I use pacts in my ritual workings with different entities. And some of them are some pacts tend to be more ongoing, even though you can do, I would recommend using petitions more than pacts for short term. Like I want to quit smoking and making a pact with whatever, Marbas or whoever in order to do that. You can. I tend to use petitions more in rituals. So usually what I do is I will have a piece of paper. I just got these. It's it's not actual parchment paper, but I have a couple different kinds of it that I got a pack of on Amazon. And usually what I'll do for a petition, and if you notice this doesn't really have straight edges, there's different traditions, and you can look up different videos, like Hoodoo has different methodologies for how you do a petition. So what I would do in a ritual work, I usually do it in the squares like this. And, you know, you write your petition, and it's usually something that's very direct, not, I wish I had $1 million. It's like, I have $1 million, or, you know, or even just down to the keywords, financial abundance, security, stability, or, you know, love between X and Y people, or, you know, that sort of thing. Now, the thing that I do with petitions is, and this might be backwards on the camera, is if it's something you're doing for yourself that's for good, you fold towards yourself first, and then to your right when you're folding the petition. If this was something where I was doing a binding or something more baneful, I would fold away from myself and to the left. So that's just how I do it. But like when I was doing a lot more binding work for clients and things like that, I would do a petition paper like this, and then I would wrap it around the candle, bind it with some wire or yarn or thread, anything like that. And then I was doing a little bit more jar work with that at that time. So that's one way that you can do a petition. Sometimes I will do a petition and I will have it underneath, like, say, a 7-day candle, or I'll have it on my altar and things like that. And basically you're stating your intentions of that work. Because there is magic to the written word, and often I will anoint my petition papers. You can put a little bit of like a ritual powder in them before you fold them. You can anoint them in ritual oils. You can anoint them in your a drop of blood or any kind of bodily fluids, things like that. You can attach personal effects, like if you were doing something for like a love spell and had like a lock of the person's hair, you could put that in with your petition as well. And usually what I do with the petitions then, once I've completed the ritual, and this may be something that is done within a short-term ritual, or if it's like I'm doing a 7-day candle, I may be burning this over the course of a week or longer. So I will have that petition with that candle for the duration of while it's burning. And you can also, if you work with radionics, you can also put your petitions on a radionics box and hook that into there as well. So that's another kind of little bell and whistle that you can add to doing a petition. So I tend to think of petitions as things that are like, I'm doing a manifestation spell. What do I want to manifest? I use the petition for that. And when I'm done with the spell, usually what I will do is I will burn the petition and then release the ashes outside. And our spell fires come in handy for making them burn fast, because I have to say, the type of paper that I use, when it burns, if you just light it with a match or a lighter, it takes a long time to burn, and it produces a lot of acrid smoke. So you're going to set off your smoke alarms, and your eyes are going to be watering, and you're going to be coughing unless you do it outside. So that's why I like the spell fires, because I can just put a little dash on it, goes whoosh, and burns up pretty fast. So, and then I put the ashes outside. So that's kind of one way of doing a petition for your rituals, spell work, and this can be in conjunction with a particular entity. Like I do a lot of my petitions with Lucifer, so maybe I would want to put Lucifer's sigil on it. Sometimes I wrap if it's something that's ongoing, I will wrap the petition with thread or yarn, and a Lucifer medallion or something like that until it's reached its point of completion. Because sometimes things don't happen like that, and you kind of have them for longer term. So once I do that, well, like I said, we burn it. So that's the petition part of it. So now what I want to talk about, this is a different type of paper. This is a thicker paper. This I tend to use when I do pacts. It's just really hard to fold because it's almost like a cardstock. But it's a parchment paper, like a more traditional parchment paper. And I think of pacts, whether they're with demons or any particular deity, I think of them more as like contracts. They're very formal in how they're written, and S. Conley has a book on demonic pacts. There's a lot of great resources out there on how to do this. And as I was doing a little bit of minimal research before doing this video for clarification on a couple things, I realized that it is really hard researching witchcraft and magic topics because most of your results are going to be Magic the Gathering, which is different. So take that. Anyways, so for pacts, they tend to be more formal. I tend to think of them more big picture, but you can do them for short-term goal. You can take the same kind of thing that you did for a petition and do a pact with it. But usually a pact, you're looking for something in exchange for whatever your goal there is, or you're dedicating yourself to working with a particular spirit like Lucifer, or you're dedicating yourself to working with Mammon for wealth and prestige and money and things like that. So just kind of looking at the little bit of nuance between pacts and petitions. And in a previous video I talked a little bit about people who offer pact writing services, and it's a good question to ask if you are hiring someone, should this be a pact or should this be a petition in ritual work? Because they should be able to answer that question. And both are equally valid ways of doing it, of petitioning, for your goals and intentions and what you plan on doing in order to achieve those goals or to honor the spirit that you're working with. So, and then moving on to the final thing of using the written word for like the magic in everyday life. Now, if you are a practitioner, it doesn't matter particularly what path you're on. Like think about it like writing a letter or sending someone a greeting card. The words you use, you sign it, you can anoint those things with a particular oil. If you are sending someone a get well soon card or something like that, you could anoint it in a healing oil and, put it on your altar first to kind of ritually charge that, Hallmark greeting card with some magical energy, just beyond it being something you picked up in a drugstore and signed your name to and wrote a little note on. So again, we can incorporate the magic into our everyday life and the things that we do right. Whether you're writing, corresponding with, a lover or, a friend, looking at the words and how you use them and being able to, I like this kind of paper. I have a ton of it, so I use this for a lot. It's my multi-purpose paper. I use it for a lot of things, but you know, if you're writing something, a note to someone, you know, again, you can kind of ritually charge those things. And it's not necessarily that you're doing something against that person's will, but you're putting your care and attention and your love into that, and your magical energy into the written word, into however, whatever vehicle you choose to impart that written word. And that's one way you can incorporate magic into everyday life. You don't have to do a huge ritual or anything about that, or anything like that. You can do that. You can do, like I said, with the greeting cards, notes, things like that. Like, hey, if you had a job interview and, you know, you wrote a handwritten thank you note. I know I'm probably sounding old in saying that, like, isn't an email good enough? I'm like, yeah. You could also probably do something with email, but, you know, maybe write the email first, print it out, put it on your altar, and then, you know, kind of have like a sympathetic link between the digital email and the physical email that you printed out. So these are just some ideas for how you can incorporate magic into your everyday life, and in addition to the way you incorporate the written word into rituals and spell work. So anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and love y'all. Bye.